Well, here we are. The finale of season number 1 of my team is finally upon us. But before we jump into things, if you guys didn't see the previous episode, then I'll leave it linked up in the top right. The Australian Grand Prix, full of drama and also some pretty interesting incidents in the race. So go check it out if you haven't done so already. And also, one last thing. Over 50% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed, so if you are one of those people, then consider hitting the red subscribe button to really help me out, guys. I'm on the way to 70k subs, and who knows, maybe 100k down the line at some point soon. But we're going to jump into things this weekend, and as you can see, we have a new livery for the final race, and also we're going to protect a bunch of upgrades. You know, we made a start in the last episode, of course. If you guys didn't watch it, then of course check it out, but we're going to do a few more in this one here today. Along with that, we're going to also upgrade the engine facility, and we're going to go for resource point generation level 1 so that we get some increased R&D points moving forward. We also got a marketing department event, and pretty much Lundgaard was being asked to attend the F1 Esports event, which has some decent acclaim to it, but ultimately that's not of interest right now for me, so I actually declined it and turned it down. Along with that, we're also going to upgrade the personnel. We're going to go ahead and purchase Analysis Suite level 1. That's going to improve the experience of the second driver, and again, we're kind of setting, you know, the foundations for next season and hopefully a new teammate. So I want to make sure everything is up to scratch. Along with that, we're also going to spend a bit more money on development feedback, which is going to give us a bit more R&D points, so up from 10% to 25% bonus, and also power mapping to reduce engine wear as well. And again, that's one of them ones that I've kind of bought with next season in mind. I then accumulated a few more R&D points after simulating a few days on the calendar, and I had a few more points to spend, so I went ahead and protected a couple of the engine upgrades. Now this weekend we've taken a step forward and we are ahead of Alpha Tauri. We brought an upgrade this weekend for the aerodynamics, which I'm going to have to protect as well. I'll try and do that in the pre-season of season 2 episode basically after this, and we head into the final round as the 8th fastest team. So intro out of the way, we've got all the admin work done. I can take a bit of a breather and we can now jump into the action. So guys, if you're excited for this weekend's race, then drop a like on the video. Let's try and smash over 1,200 likes for the finale, and you know, let me know you guys are excited for the series. Now, after practice, Lundgaard scored 0 R&D points, and that is simply just unacceptable. You know, a session where I scored 750, the fact that Lundgaard only scored 0, I mean, it's really starting to, you know, damage us in terms of developing. So I am really strongly considering a new teammate. So in the comments down below, guys, give me your feedback and your recommendations. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm all ears, and I'll, you know, make a decision based off the comments of this video. But with that said, practice finished, and we now move into qualifying, the final qualifying session of the season, Q1 in Abu Dhabi, and we're going to see if we can try and make it into Q2 one last time. So here we are with a much more blue car this weekend as a finale kind of one-off special livery, and the first lap got off to a bit of a rocky start. I took a bit of a gamble with the setup, and through turn 3, that's a bit of a big one there. Luckily we somehow are still alive and we can get the car back to the pits. It wasn't terminal damage, and I managed to go back, get the car fixed. I put on another set of tyres, and we're back out there at the end of Q1. Currently 2.5 tenths up on George Russell, who is in P18. We need a bit more time than that to get out of Q1, so maybe this final sector could be the key. The only issue is I've actually gone down on the front wing after that crash that I had, so I've got quite a bit of understeer, and this third sector is heavily dependent on a good front end, so the grip wasn't there. But having said that, it's actually been a pretty good sector so far as we now head into the final 2 corners. But through here, I just get that front end understeer, I hit the curb and then validate by running wide. So yeah, man, poor session, scruffy again. I took a gamble on the setup and it backfired, and the worst thing is I can't fix it because Park for May has pretty much locked things in, so we are going to have to try and adapt and drive this setup in the race somehow. So P22 and last place for us in the final race of season 1 here in Abu Dhabi. So let's have a bit of fun. Let's jump into it and let's see what happens.
Welcome to the Yas Marina circuit for the finale of another thrilling Formula One season. It's been a breathtaking year, and we end it at a track that's been the scene of many glories and heartbreaks over its history. It's time to end the season in style. It's time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The drivers will be racing here at the Yas Marina circuit through 21 corners and a lap distance of just over 3.4 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass, with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, turns 8 and turn 11. Plenty of close racing then, plenty of speed, and I hope plenty of drama to be found in the laps ahead. It's just about time to go to the track for the beginning of the race, but before we do, Anthony Davidson, what types of strategy do you think we can expect for today's event?
Well, there's a lot that both the driver and the team have to keep in mind when going into a race. The tyres, fuel, energy recovery systems, the list goes on and on. But I think the key to today's victory will come down to the pit stop strategy. Come in too soon and you might find yourself needing more than one stop. Too late and you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by spending longer on worn tyres.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Norris. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Stroll, Gasly, Ricciardo, they've taken a grid penalty, and Kimi Raikkonen. Giovinazzi, Sainz, Fernando Alonso and Lundgaard. Russell, Ocon, Nicholas Latifi and Yuki Tsunoda. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Martinez, Verstappen, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your main event of the evening. P19 for us, so not last. We're going to gain a couple of places as we jump into things for the final time in Season 1 for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So, for this race, I'm going to go quite aggressive on strategy. So, mediums to start with, double soften afterwards. We're going to try and have a very strong second half of the race. Fuel wise, I'm going to start with 0.2 in the tank, so I can pretty much go flat out the whole race. I'm looking forward to it. I want to try and make some overtakes, and the target is to get into the points. I've gone back to the original setup with the +1 on the front wing, so the back end is going to be very, very loose, but if it gives me better front end performance, then I'm willing to take the risk. So let's see if it pays off, and let's try and end this one on a high. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can end it on a high. 5 red lights. And we're underway. Not a bad start, actually. To say we're on the mediums, everyone else seems to be on the softs. That's not too shabby. Verstappen having a look up the inside. I'm not really going to fight this too hard, as Max, of course, is much faster than us, but we'll see how it goes. Just trying to find a bit of space right now. We've got both Haas cars behind us as we race down towards turn 4. Just going to put my car in the middle of the track. Nice bit of space on the outside here to make a bit of overtaking happen. Up the inside of the hairpin on George Russell here. We get Latifi as well. And we've got back ahead of Verstappen too. What are we saying for straight line speed? Let's find out. Looks like we've got the legs in the second part of the straight as we go toe to toe with George Russell down to the brake zone. Going to be a little bit cautious and brake a bit early. Tsunoda and Alonso going at it just ahead of us as we leave a bit of space on the inside for Russell to try and go side by side with us. Can we get Tsunoda here though? He's a bit slow on the exit. We're going to go to the inside on the Japanese driver. A little bit early on the brakes, but up the inside we go. And we've made it stick. And we're up to P16, so great start from us. Lundgaard running in P12 as well, so pretty decent stuff from us. The upgrade seems to be working well this weekend. Definitely taking a bit of a step up towards the midfield in the last 3 or 4 races for sure as a team. But let's see how things shake out as we go on to lap 2. Let's try and get within a second of Alonso before the DRS gets enabled. That would be great for us if we can make that happen. So we've done enough. We are within a second of the cars ahead. Just got to keep it nice and tidy through here, not mess it up, and that should do the trick. So we'll have DRS on Alonso, which is crucial for us. Let's try and save a bit of DRS now, as we're going to have to use it to make some overtakes. I think the race will open up once the guys on soft start to pit, so there's no rush right now. Just waiting for that crossover phase in terms of tyre performance. Good lap there, 4/10 quicker. Good pace. Cars ahead are trying to pull away. I'm doing a good job though of keeping up. Just got to try and watch the rear tyres. That's going to be the key thing this race. If I can manage the rears, we're going to be looking pretty decent this race. I feel like I could probably get a move done here. Lundgaard's just starting to struggle for pace up ahead. I think he's dropped out of DRS range of the car in front, but we're going to try and go for moving Alonso here. The crossover is just starting to happen on tyres, so I want to try and make a few moves before the pit stop phase. I want to try and make use of these as we just have slight contact there as Alonso bumps out a bit of wide, hitting the inside curb. Luckily no damage. Up to 15th now. Ocon next. Now Giovinazzi is on mediums. I want to try and pass him. That could be really important for our race. It's going to be a carbon copy of the move to Alonso on Ocon here as we get a great exit. We're actually going to get ahead a lot earlier this time, and we get on the inside line. Being cautious on the brakes, but up the inside we go. So we've now dispatched both Alpines. Important phase now. We need to get past Giovinazzi. I think Raikkonen ahead of Lundgaard is also on mediums, so it's very important that we clear both Alphas who are on the same strategy as us. Plenty of cars in the pits, so we're going to gain a bunch of places. There's Hamilton just leaving now, so he's going to be on the back of us pretty soon in the Mercedes as we still trying to find a way past Giovinazzi. You can tell he's on mediums. His traction's a lot better than the Alpine cars when we pass them, but I'm going to try it and see if I can get by this lap. If I can just keep this section a bit tidier. Raikkonen just starting to pull away now. Lundgaard's struggling for pace. Let's see if I can use my teammate to try and get past the Alpha here. Isn't going to happen on this straight. The AI tend to drain their battery quite a lot. But I just need to stay close enough so that I can challenge. But I think Giovinazzi may actually go for the move on Lundgaard here. Here we go, bit of action. Into the chicane. I'm going to really open up the line here to focus on the exit. I think we can get them both. Let's follow Lundgaard. He's got the DRS. Once he's cleared Giovinazzi, I'm going to try and sneak on the inside. And just like that. Double move. As clean as it gets. Let's go after Kimi and try and pick him off as well. Lundgaard pits. More cars in there as well.
Christian is in the pits. Christian in the pits.
So everyone on softs has now done their first stop of the race as we get a bit crossed up there through the exit of turn 1, getting a warning for track limits. Let's go after Raikkonen and try and get that P1 on mediums. Got a yellow flag behind, so something's happened. Oh my god, back end feels horrible, man. I think now we've got a genuine yellow flag. No idea who for or what happened, but this one looks a bit more genuine. Carlos Sainz out of the race for Ferrari. The other yellow flag was, I think, just a little spin out of turn 1 from maybe a Williams. But Sainz out for Ferrari in the finale. That's good news for us because Carlos was one of the cars ahead of us, so we'll gain another place from that once we pit. But we've now got Bottas for company here. Yellow flag zone. Sainz's car pulled up on the right. I'm going to let Bottas go. No point in me wasting time battling. Hamilton coming through as well, so he won't be too far behind. Let's see if I can use Bottas to close up to Raikkonen. Oh, okay, Raikkonen pits already. That's a bit earlier than expected, so that could be another medium stint. Hamilton, meanwhile, now on the back of us here. So Giovinazzi, of course, will stay out for one more lap. Sebastian Vettel coming through, and the Aston Martin also on mediums. Let's see if I can keep Lewis back until the back straight, and then we'll do the same thing as with Bottas last lap. But to be fair, Lewis has got the run a lot earlier here, so we'll let him go. I just don't have the tyre grip anymore. These tyres actually fall off quite quickly, gotta say, but we'll hopefully get DRS on both these straights to keep up a little bit. Well, here comes Sebastian Vettel. He's going to pass me quite easily. The Aston Martin has really improved over the season, and of course they're now the second fastest team on the grid, aka Mercedes 2.0. Let's box this lap though, and let's see if we can have a strong rest of the lap here. Well, I'm very happy to get off these tyres. It's been a very, very strong first stint. Competitive pace all the way through pretty much, and able to fight back.
Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter too much, Jeff, as we go into the pit lane. Right, now what would really put the icing on the cake is a sub 2 second stop. You can see on the mini-map, Raikkonen making his way now into the final corner. If I can rejoin ahead of that pack, that would be nice. Here we go. Oh, it's slow.
Go, go, go.
3 seconds on the nose. It's a slow stop, man.
Only one stop to go. One stop left in this strategy.
Well, that AI with fresh tyres have got the jump on us, unfortunately. And we're back behind our teammate, both Alpines, Raikkonen and Verstappen. So 5 places lost, but we do have the soft tyres on, so they're going to play a big factor in this race now. This is an important phase, so everyone on the same strategy as me has gone for mediums now. We're going to go for these softs, so it's important that we clear every single car in this stint. I'm losing so much time stuck behind my teammate. Ocon has overtaken Lundgaard, and now Lundgaard is holding me up quite badly here. We'll try and pass him ASAP. I'm also saving a bit of ERS by following my teammate, but that's not really a positive in this case. I'm seeing the 4 cars up ahead drive away, so we need to get past quickly. Let's get Lundgaard straight away here, and then we'll try and get the slingshot onto Ocon on the second straight. Here we go. Use the ERS and the DRS. Try and get that top speed, and look at the delta to Ocon just go down. That's what we want. Job done on Lundgaard. I don't think we'll be able to get Ocon here. I think he's a bit too far away, unless we get a godly exit, which is not bad to be fair. Gap is only 7 tenths, but I think we're a bit too far back. Yeah, we're a bit too far back right now. We'll try and pass Ocon though as quick as possible. That was on the borders. A little bit scruffy through there, but it's still going to be a personal best. 34.7. Not a purple lap, but I don't think I'll be far off, to be fair. Let's get Ocon though. This is the lap. We need to clear him straight away, then use that clean air to really try and catch up to the 3 cars ahead. I want to try and get those places back. Here we go then. Feed the car through here. No need to overdrive it. Let the tyres do the work. And now we let the engine do the work. Onto the back straight. A little bit of DRS. Let the DRS open up. And here we go. Overspeed. Pulling ahead. We're now ahead. Job done. And there we go. P12 for us. Back ahead of Ocon. And we get to take the racing line and push on. Let's go after Alonso. And Verstappen pits, which is interesting. That's quite early. That could be for a set of hards, actually. Personal best again across the line. We find that lap time in sector 3. That's going to put us now within DRS range of Fernando Alonso. Hopefully, again, we'll pass Alonso's on this lap. And that will give us the slingshot onto Kimi Raikkonen and move us into the top 9 this race. Let's try and get DRS off Fernando, who's pushing a little bit. He's using a bit of engine mode to pull ahead, but we're still fast enough on these tyres, although I'm starting to just lose the back end a little bit. Rear right on 105, that's a little bit on the hotter side. Let's use a bit of DRS here to close the gap. Let's see if I can get Alonso on the second straight. That would be nice. Easy does it, don't overcommit. There we go. Yeah, the grip is definitely going quite quickly, and we're a little bit far back from Fernando here. Do I want to drain this entire battery to try and get past? I think we're a bit far back. But we're going to go for it. Whew. That was a lunge and a half. Wow. Get in. Right, let's get Kimi. A couple of cars in the pit lane. Daniel Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc. They're back onto another set of mediums. We've got a few more laps to go yet. We're pitting lap 20, so we've got to squeeze a couple more out of these tyres yet. Let's try and catch Kimi.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Copy that, Jeff, as we get ahead of Sergio Perez, who was leaving the pit exit right there. Struggling to close the gap to Kimi now. My tyres are starting to just fade a little bit. I'm also struggling to drop Alonso. But we're still slightly faster, so let's try and keep pushing. Alonso pits. So is that enough of those tyres? Pierre Gasly in the pit lane as well. Just trying to cut this gap to Raikkonen, which just doesn't want to go below a second.
Christian is coming in for his stop.
Just trying to squeeze a bit more pace out of these tyres, but I'm really struggling now in the fast corners to really find any pace. I need to absolutely nail this to get within a second of Kimi, but I don't think I will. Hopefully on the next straight we can get within a second, because I'm just starting to struggle on tyres now. So I've got Lando breathing right down my neck along with Charles Leclerc as we try to stay ahead. Just want to make sure I get DRS off Kimi if I can do that. I'll be okay. We're pitting this lap, and I think Raikkonen will be as well, so if I can pass him this lap, that would be ideal.
There's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
Okay, so I've stayed ahead of Lando. Let's see if I can get Raikkonen on this second straight. I ain't got nowhere near the same level of confidence in my tyres for braking anymore or getting that traction, but let's see if I can get Kimi here. I'm running on fumes in regards to ERS. I don't think I'm close enough. No, I'm not. If it was fresh tyres I could go for that dive, but I don't, so we're just going to try and follow him into the pits. Okay, we've made it. We can now get off these tyres. I really struggle with tyre wet, I will admit. Into the pit lane we go. Crossed up there. Slow it down. Oh, what an entry. We've recovered so much there on Raikkonen. Now this is the time for a sub 2 second. Okay guys, if you're hearing me pit crew, this is the one we want. Come on, please deliver. Let's go. Yes. Oh, what a stop. We've done it. Yes.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
The team have clutched up massively with a 1.9 and we've jumped Kimi Raikkonen. We're back out behind Alonso and currently P12, so it'll be P11 for the time being. Can we finish in the points today? It's going to be tricky, but we'll give it our best shot. Let's get down to it then. Let's try and catch Fernando straight away. And Dino Giovinazzi in the pit lane. That's P11, and if we pass Alonso, that'll be us in the top 10. So we know the mission we've got to do. Try and pass the two-time world champion who was meant to be our teammate next season, but this is actually his swan song, his final F1 race. Can I get within DRS? I don't think I can. I think I'm a bit too far back, unfortunately. Alonso is very fast right now. His pace is insane. I'm just about hanging on to DRS, but he's pulling away in the right areas. I'm trying to push without using too much DRS, but hopefully this lap we will have DRS on Fernando. That's the first time I've been flat through there. Okay, this should be the lap. It's not going to happen on this first straight. Like always, it will happen on the second straight. The first one is about just closing the gap, getting nice and close. Well, Alonso is making me work for it, man. My right rear is on 102, getting pretty hot. We're actually catching Verstappen here. That's how fast we're running right now. We're faster than Verstappen in a Red Bull. But this is it. Here we go. Nice exit. Plenty of battery to use. Here we go then. Let's get this moved on. We'll go to the outside. A little bit hot crossed up there, but we're going to hold on to that. Bit aggressive. Who cares? It's the last race. There's no rules. Completely overshot that though. Just the overspeed caught me out completely. Well, Raikkonen's going to get me here. I'm not even going to defend. I thought about it, but I'm going to let him just pass me. He's been on the back of me the whole stint, so we'll let him drive away. And then I'll just try and get him back here. That could be the plan for the rest of the race, to be honest, because it's really hard to drop someone with these two massive DRS straights. Let's just stick with him, really. I'm quite happy to follow. We get to save a bit of DRS for the final couple of laps. I'm going to repass Kimi on this one because I don't feel comfortable. He's a bit too fast, so I want to nip it in the bud nice and early before things get a bit out of hand and we throw away a P10. So let's try and get him hit. Let's nail him with some DRS and ERS and get back ahead of the Alpha. This time let's make it a clean move, unlike the last one. We're going to go to the inside this time. No, again, got it all wrong. Bit crossed up there, bit hot. Going to leave some room, but we're going to go through anyways and get it done. You can just tell the tyres aren't fresh anymore. I've got no confidence in the braking. Back into the top 10, 2 laps to go. Let's try and hold on. I can just tell the AI are running engine mode like crazy on this last lap. It's going to be so difficult to stay ahead. It was hard enough already, but now the AI running max engine mode to try and get ahead. Let's drain the entire battery. It's all about surviving this first straight. But look at the speed difference. Here comes Raikkonen. I'm going to try and force him as outside as possible. On the inside we go. We can hold that. Lovely. Just pinch him into the apex. And that gives us the gap we need. Fireworks go off for Bottas, who wins the final race. We've just got to hold off for one more straight, which we do. We can bring this one home, and it's going to be P10 and the point, which I'll be very happy with. Starting from a P19 after qualifying P22. But here we go, last race, season 1. What does the future hold? Who knows? But for now, it's been a successful first season. 2 podiums, I believe. Multiple points finishes. I would have happily taken that at the start of the season. We're not going to get a P8, I believe, in the Constructors ahead of AlphaTauri. That they're going to take it, but still we gave it a good shot. But it just wasn't to be. But hopefully next season we'll be back stronger. Here we go though, final corner. Job done for us. P10 in the finale of season 1.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
It's been a roller coaster season then, but they can go into the winter with their heads held high after an emphatic victory here today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
And there it is then, job done for us in season 1. Valtteri Bottas picks up the victory ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who was hot on his heels. 6/10 across the line with the fastest lap, but still it wasn't to be. Bottas victorious in the finale. Sebastian Vettel P3 for Aston Martin, and that front three becoming a regular occurrence again, almost like as if it was 2018 all over again. Lando Norris P4 for McLaren ahead of Charles Leclerc, who's P5 for Ferrari. Perez P6 ahead of Ricciardo, Gasly, Verstappen, and we finish in P10, scoring the final point. We managed to beat P10, managed to beat Raikkonen, Alonso, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Tsunoda, Lundgaard P16, Russell, Stroll, Mazepin, Schumacher, Latifi, and Carlos Sainz, the only retirement from the race here today. So after that one, we're now going to look at the standings for the final time this season. So first and foremost, the Drivers' Championship. We managed to hold on to P10, which is great. Really happy with that. We managed to do it by 1 point over Lance Stroll. And yeah, overall, very, very happy with that one. Hamilton finished the season with 25 points in his pocket over Valtteri Bottas. Lando Norris P3. Verstappen P4, so it wasn't even a Red Bull in 3rd place, it was a McLaren in 3rd place, and Sebastian Vettel, the top Aston Martin, in P6, Ricciardo P7, and then Leclerc overtaking Alonso on the final race to get P8. And there you go. Lundgaard, no points for him this season, down in P20, not ideal and something we have to work on. In the Constructors though, we finish in 8th place, in the end 8 points behind AlphaTauri, Mercedes Constructors Champions, and Red Bull just about beat McLaren by 14 points, so that went right down to the wire. Aston Martin, comfortable 4th for them, ahead of Ferrari and Alpine, and yeah, overall a decent season with Haas scoring 0 points all year long. So that's it guys, we're done, and I'm now going to move into some off-season work. We'll do a pre-season episode for season 2, and then we'll do another episode for episode 1 of next season. So essentially tomorrow's video will be season 2 pre-season, and then the day after, in 2 days time, it will be episode 1 of season 2 basically. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode, and the support in the series has been insane, especially the second half of the season. If you enjoyed this episode, then smash the like button guys. Let's try and smash over 1,400 likes. I'm going to challenge you guys to go for that. 1,400, it's a big number, but I trust you guys to deliver. Subscribe for more if you haven't done so already for daily F1 content, and also subscribe to not miss out on the start of season 2. And like I said, over 50% of you are not subscribed, so if you watched that race and you enjoyed it, then consider subscribing. And as always, if you haven't done so already, check out the 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But that is it from me here today, and I'll see all of you next time.